Hey everyone, welcome back to the Basic Butch Tarot. My name is Jennifer Rose and I am the head butch in charge here. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel today. I am out on my front porch here in lovely Fayetteville, Arkansas. It's going to be a hot and muggy day. You can see that sweat on my brow, but you know what? It's all right. I'm gonna sweat through this. Okay, so speaking of sweating through something, today I want to talk about the 7 laws of karma. And every Saturday from here until for 7 weeks, I'm going to release a video at noon Central Standard Time. And we're going to talk about these 7 laws of karma. Specifically, I wish I knew sooner. So this is going to be a 3-card read. It's going to be a know, grow, and let go regarding, the first law of karma, which is the great law. It says whatever you put out there in the universe will come back to you. So right now there's a particular astrological aspect called Saturn Retrograde, and it is asking those of us, it is asking all of us, but especially those of us that have Saturn in our charts, to look at how we have always done things, because Saturn is a workhorse. Like Saturn is about loyalty and tradition and responsibility and doing things that you ought to do. Okay. I find this as, so I'm a Capricorn and Saturn rules Capricorn. And I find this a very pleasing time because I've been telling people the rules are out the window. Like the things that haven't served you about your past, the things that haven't served you, prior to Saturn going retrograde, this is the time that you can make some deep transformational changes. Okay. We can think better thoughts. We can speak better words to each other, to ourselves. We can watch what we ingest, and we can watch, meaning we can watch our consumption, consumption of the news, our literal consumption of food, the things that we hear, the people we hang around with, like all those things are all the things that we choose to have surrounding us and that we ingest in our minds and in our hearts and in our mouths and in our ears. They all have an effect on us. Okay. And now is the time that if we're sitting around and we're worried about what's going to slap us back from karma, right? Like I shouldn't be sitting here thinking of the 20 things that I'm worried about that my karma is going to get me back. So instead of worrying about all of those things, because the more I worry about them, the more I think about them, the more likely it is for them to show up and come and get me, right? I want to think about, I made a list of all the things that came back to me when I was thinking about a karmic bitch slap. I used to call it a genetic bitch slap when I thought that karma was coming back at me. I even made a vodka drink one summer when I was, processing through some things called a genetic bitch slap, because, sometimes that will just reach out and get you, right? But if you're thinking about it because it's in, astrology and tarot readers and astrologists are talking about them and it's got karma on your mind, that's a good thing. So write down, think about, put a list in your phone about those things that come to mind that you're worried about coming to get you karmically. And then I want you to just do some deep inner work about that. Okay. You need to, but it would be a good idea for you to think about where you were at. Think about what age you were, where you're at in your life when this happened, like the kind of mind frame that you might have been in. And then, if you're really concerned about that, then don't do it again. Find out what place you were in back in that time and figure out how it is that you could help yourself not be that person again, right? Because, we all really honestly have good intentions, and sometimes we just fuck up a lot, right? Like sometimes we just really fuck it up, and there's nothing that you can do and no apology that you can make that will help the situation at all. It's really just about becoming someone different, and thinking different thoughts and having some different perspective on some things. So if you're trying to break some traditions, if you're trying to get rid of that age-old, religious idea that we're supposed to take care of our parents, even if they're abusive to us, that kind of thing, I'm asking you to look at those rules and flip them on their head. Like, if they don't work for you, don't do it. Just say no, and say yes to all the good things, okay? So, I've rambled a whole lot, so I'm going to do a no, grow, and let go concerning the first of the 7 laws of karma, and that is what you put out in the universe comes back to you, okay? So what can we know? What do we know about karma, and what do we know about it coming back at us, right? What is the first card here that I'm going to draw? Justice. That justice prevails. So, if we're really not thinking about what we're doing, what we're saying, what we're consuming, how we're walking through the world, if we're not thinking about a bigger picture with ourselves, like with our health, with our wealth, with our finances, if we're not giving to some thought to how we move forward, what we want the rest of our lives to look like no matter what age you are, it's never a bad time to think about what you want the rest of your life to look like, though, right? So, first of all, I'm going to say, justice is balanced. And, if you're thinking about all of this karma in a bad way, I want you to juxtapose that with something good. Like, something good can always come out of a situation, even if it's a bad situation. And, a lot of us were born into chaos and sadness. And I said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it again, but a lot of us were born into chaos and sadness. But that doesn't have to be the way of our life, right? We can get justice for ourselves, and we can do that by just doing better, by no longer conforming to rules that don't apply to us. Like, there's so many rules that don't apply to us. And I'm not saying go out there and, speed or drive as fast as you can. Nothing like that. But I'm talking about those rules, like I mentioned, we have to take care of our parents no matter what. Or if you're the oldest in the family, then you have to take care of all of your siblings no matter what age you are. Or if you're the girl child in the family, then you're the automatic babysitter for your siblings. Or, I know that falls mainly on women. I know a lot of boys have had to watch their younger siblings as well. So sorry, I've got a card rolling around here trying to fall off here. But I'm going to move the whole thing. So you know what? You are the one who makes your world go round. And the best justice you can give yourself is to know the things that made you feel bad that came up when everybody was talking about karma, right? And to take those and balance that out. And, if it's something that you did, then, give yourself some allowance, give yourself a time and space where you can be okay with that. Hug yourself, tell yourself it's okay. And if the karma comes back around to you, then just deal with it and get through it. Like, you've got to go through it in order to grow. So, in that respect, then we really need to pay attention to the things that we're consuming and what we're doing and saying, okay? Especially in our social circles. Like, we want to put out there what we want to get back. And knowing that that list of things that came into your mind when we're talking about karma coming back around now during this time, all the way until October 23rd, Saturn is in retrograde, okay? So this gives you plenty of time to make some big transformational changes in your life and to kind of buck the rules. And I'm a rebel at heart, I love the rules. I really, really give a shit about the rules, and I really love to follow rules, and I think rules have their place in society. But there are some rules that have been in place for years upon years upon years. I always think about religious rules and, like the 10 Commandments, which I don't think that are necessarily a bad thing. I just think that sometimes those rules are given to us in ways that don't allow us to kind of wiggle out of a quote responsibility. When we just can't, like sometimes we just physically can't own up to that responsibility that people are looking for us to do. And even if you don't want to, you don't have to. And this is the time to make those decisions and not worry about what other people think. You've got to do this for you. This is the time to make the deep transformational changes. And knowing that and not doing anything about it, I think might be a karmic bitch slap in the making, right? So don't do that. Give it justice. Give it its just desserts. Give it its time and place, okay, for that karma to come back around and for you to deal with it. And then put it away. Put it to bed, okay? So, getting justice is, maybe karma is going to get justice, but maybe you're going to have the last laugh at justice and say, you know what? Okay, I get it. I'm going to do a little bit better balancing at, yelling at someone without all of the information, or taking your frustrations out on someone else when you didn't know about it, when you weren't cognizant of it, because we just need to be in the now more often. Being mindful is what I'm meaning to say. So we need to be right here and right now more often, and that will probably help us get a little bit of justice with this karma situation, okay? So what's next? How do we grow? How do we grow into a person that wants to make the universe a better place by changing ourselves? So how do we grow away from those traditions and those values that have been given to us over and over and over again that no longer serve us? How do we grow? How do we grow from that? The Hanged Man. So like I said in the first card about knowing, so knowing, and then giving yourself some time to actually think about it, like turning things on its head, turn everything on its head, look at things from a different perspective. I just really see turning on your head here, and turning rules on their head, like, it's just a lot of these traditions and these cultural laws that have been told to us or given to us through school, through our parents, through our environment, through our grandparents. Now is the time that we have to take stock of what it is that we've done, and we need to let it go, and we need to forgive ourselves and other people, and we need to be in some heavy thought process about this, and we need to be able to look outside of that box that someone else created for us. We need to look outside of that box in order to grow, and we've got to take some time to really give thought to who we are, what we want to do with our lives. Visually see yourself and what you want to look like, what you want to be wearing, where you want to be, and then put that energy in motion. Like, do what it is that you want to do to get to that place, and don't do it the way that you've always done it. Like, if it's worked for you, that's great, but if you think, you know what, I want to fuck around and find out about this new thing that's happening, like maybe it's new technology for you, and I don't know, but I don't know where technology got into that, but maybe it is new technology. Maybe it's just you've got to rewire yourself in order to have your best outcome, right? So in order to do that, we have to be very mindful, and we have to be deep in our thought processes in order to grow. And then we have to put in some action to that, right? Like, we can't just do all of the thinking and never any of the action. And while you're thinking, please, you can allow some of those negative thoughts about the karmic thing that you did, or the karmic thing that you're worried about that you've done. It's okay to pay some negative attention to that and be like, what the hell? Why did I do that? Where was I at? Where was my mind, right? But just don't stay in that energy, because that's not a forward motion. That's not the way that we make the world a better place, okay? And the world is a better place with you in it, and it's a better place with you thinking more about things in it. Okay, so knowing, growing, and letting going. So what's the last card here for the karmic, for the, for the vision for our future? Like, what do we need to let go of here so we can become the best possible version of ourselves from here until the next time we revisit ourselves in our karma, okay? Next time when karma comes back around, I want to have a way smaller list or no list at all, and know that I have behaved in a way that serves my higher purpose and serves my spirit and my soul in its best, highest capacity, right? So what do we need to let go of in order to become your higher self during this karmic setting out in the universe and bringing things back in way? We need to let go of being the emperor. We need to let go of the rules. I keep telling you, the rules are out the window, y'all. Like, the rules that you've given to yourself, that have been given to you about how we should be in our personal environments, in our interpersonal relationships and so on, those rules are out the window. And like, we have controlled ourselves and our minds and our hearts in all sorts of Saturn-like ways and some methodical ways, and it's time that we relinquish that control and that we find a new way to go about things. I love this because this emperor's wand or staff is like going through the heart of a bull or a demon, or I don't know exactly what that is, a devil. It's got horns and it looks like a bull as well. So get rid of your stubbornness right now and really open yourself up to see what's going on, and then this time when you're faced with a situation that you feel like is just simply an obligation or a responsibility that really shouldn't be yours, this is the time to get rid of it. This is not the time to stomp your staff down and say, I'm in control, I'm here, I'll take care of it. No, this is the time for you to step back and take a good look and see, what, is that something I want to do? Is that something that really should be assigned to me to do? Because these assignments just don't work, okay? This is the time where you can just do that and not worry about what happens to you as far as a blowback, okay? Because you will have positive results if you work on yourself positively. All right? So know, grow, let go. Once you know that you need to do some work, some justice work, when you need to give yourself and some other people some peace of mind, knowing that the things that are coming up for you as far as karma goes, that you know how to deal with them and that you have a balance in how to do that, right? You have all the information and all the tools at your disposal. And then, the Hanged Man says, take some time and, think about the ways which you want to grow. Think about your vision for your future. Think about how you can do that without all these social and cultural constructs that have been told to you. Think about how you can do things differently, okay? And really it's just about how you can make yourself better and how you are better in the grand scheme of things, because the energy that you put out there, even if you don't say a word, the energy that you carry with you, it matters. It makes a splash, it makes a wave, it makes a frequency in our surroundings. And so we should be better stewards of our energy. And I know all of us want to have great energy, and that's possible. No matter what you were born into, the sadness and chaos, it's really up to you to make these decisions. And now is the time for some deep transformational changes. And I think that I'll just keep repeating that over and over again, but throw the rules out the window and don't do that in like an injustice type way, okay? Like, we still have to follow the big rules, but the rules that are told to you that are just ambiguous and arbitrary and really don't really don't fit in your life, you know them, you buck against them, you rebel against them all the time. It's what gets you in trouble. It's what kicks you out of your peer group. You know what? So maybe you need to be the one kicking folks out of your peer group, and watching what you're consuming and who you're around, and watching your energy when you're around those folks. If you don't feel good about it, change it. And this is the time that says, if you choose to do that, you will have great results. So don't be caught up in this karmic idea that, oh my gosh, it's time for the karma to come back around. Saturn's in retrograde. Oh my gosh, I'm just going to hide in my house and hope that nothing happens to me. Have better peace of mind next time this comes up for you. Next time this type of planetary aspect comes up for you. And, sorry about that. And I think that person does that a couple of times a day. I don't understand. But anyway, maybe they're breaking their own rules. And that's not the kind of rule I'm having you break. I want you to obey the speeding rules and all that kind of good stuff. Just because it's 25 in your neighborhood doesn't mean you can go 35 because you want to, right? We have to, take out those things that are really important and do the soul work, like the feeling work, the anxiety work. This is the time to really take a deep look at where the sadness is coming from, and if it's because of things that we were as a child, like happened to us as a child. This is time to do something differently with them. Just doing what you want, and within reason, of course, but there are just some things that are holding us down in our personal lives and in the choices that we make, because we're trying to please other people. We're trying to please parents or teachers or siblings or other family members, or just the great world and culture out there. But sometimes we go about doing those things just because this is the way that it's always been done. And this is the time where you can flip that around, okay? I hope I made sense with that. I feel really energetically led to doing these karmic reads. And I think I want to look at the bottom of the deck. So the bottom of the deck is... the Six of Cups. So look, if you will just do the work and do the deep work, like you don't have to sit around all day and just think about all those terrible things that you've had swelling around in your mind about what you may have done to this person, that person, to yourself. Like really concentrate on what you've done to yourself in this whole ordeal, and you will get great recognition. The universe is going to reward you for taking the time and doing this honor for our culture, for you, for your family, but really for you. And that example that you have is going to be seen by so many people that surround you. So again, make sure that when you're surrounding yourself with people, you're surrounding yourself with people that do want to grow, that are looking to grow, that have the same interests as you, some of the same values and goals, and do not settle, okay? Because, we have a greater good to fulfill, and this is a great time to, hang out and take care of that. Hang out and take care of yourself, and then you will be recognized for that. You will have all the world is a stage, okay? My old Shakespeare quote is coming back to me. It's crazy right now, but all the world is a stage, and we are just players in it. We get to choose how we play in it and what plays we act in, and so maybe some of these plays just really were never your favorite plays to begin with, and you want to get your money back. So take your money back and reinvest that in something that does make you happy, and that does, get your soul some recognition. It makes you feel better about your soul. Like, just makes you feel better inside, right? We got to keep doing the work, y'all. So, hey, every Saturday at 12 noon, I will be doing these karmic reads, the 7 laws of karma. I wish I knew sooner. So I wish I knew sooner that all of these little, even me just putting my hand out here is causing energetic waves rushing through the universe. And so while I am very powerful, it's also good to be humbled in that respect and to just, you know, do your best. Okay. Saturday, 12 noon. And if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notifications bell so you'll know when I upload my next video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you next Saturday. Take care of your Saturn in retrograde, and don't let that karmic bitch slap come back at you next go round, okay? Let's make our lists shorter or zero. No karmic bitch slaps coming back to us, because we're going to do the work right now until October 23rd. It's time! It's time! Welcome to your new life. It's going to be awesome.